Good evening. Good evening. This is going to be a quick live. Hopefully, everyone had a good day, had a good weekend, and everyone's having a good night. Hope everyone has their affairs in order for the upcoming week. Got all your stuff situated, whatever that may or may not be. So, yeah, let's start. First of all, if I'm not mistaken, YouTube and really any of these social platforms should be used for what they say entertainment and educational purposes only. For real. For real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Because some of the stuff, most of the stuff, is just way too far to even be a thing that's on a social platform, a public platform, and it just probably shouldn't even be allowed if we're going to keep it a bean. But with that being said, it's one thing to be entertained by what somebody is coming on here and saying, showing, etc., whatever. But it's like a thin line between being entertained and then becoming the entertainment. Like, what's good? What is good? And I don't judge nobody because I used to be a tomfool myself. I'll get into what the meaning of that is. So I don't judge. It's just observations. I peep stuff. And I'm like, ooh, that was me at one point. Not to the extremes, because people be bugging, taking stuff way too far. But just as far as like me engaging in it and with it. Too crazy. Too crazy. And in one sector, I think they refer to it as like the mommy sector. There was this one content creator, and this is when I first started learning about like what reaction pages are, whoop-de-doo and all that stuff because I didn't used to know what the hell a reaction page was. So at the time, because I thought the girl was cool, well, the woman, I'm like, oh, she's cool. She's about my age. I think she's a little younger, but about my age, has her kids, has her husband, whoop-de-whoop, whatever. And I used to really think like, dang, this girl is getting virtually jumped by, now what I know now to be reaction pages. And when I tell you, I used to really go to bat for this girl. Something serious, arguing with people, all this other stuff, just to later find out and to have egg on my face that the girl was with the ish. Like she was doing certain things that had to do with her kids, her husband, whatever, on purpose to get reactions from people. But I didn't peep it. But then when I peeped it, I'm like, oh, yeah, no. If you like it, I love it. I'm not arguing with nobody for nobody. And really, that's what it should have been from the jump. Anywho, and then, so that was in that sector. And then as far as certain ones, It's like diabolical. There's no way. And everything I'm going to talk about real quick happens in most sectors. There's people in most sectors that are with the tomfoolery and some, because like I said, folks take it too far. And then you have other people that encourage the taking of it, the taking too farness of it all. And I'm just like, I got to a point where, number one, I made a conscious effort to continually work on myself. Number two, there's certain things that I peeped that I wasn't feeling. So I just quietly removed myself from certain things. I didn't feel the need to make a public service announcement. What's up, Mr. Goodbar? Good evening. I didn't feel the need to make a public service announcement like, oh, I'm out of here. This is not it. No, I just dipped. And then I see certain people when I see them in chats that are not with the tomfoolery. Now, it'd be funny. I'm not going to get on here and stunt. Most of the stuff be funny. But like I said, it's a thin line between the hee hee ha ha to now you don't find yourself involved in some mess that in reality don't got nothing to do with you. It don't concern you. It doesn't affect your day by day life. None of that. Your name wasn't called, at least probably not initially. But then some people find themselves being a part of the tomfoolery. And it's like, do you really want that? Like, you want to be entertainment for other people? It's one thing if you're making content and your goal is to entertain people, but are you trying to find yourself being content for somebody based off of how you're conducting yourself on here? Whether that's the type of content you want to put out or you choose to put out, or because you hopped on somebody's panel and was on some crazy ish or just some nonsensical stuff, or because you were typing in somebody's chat on some BS. You know what I mean? Now we're all grown. People can do what they want to do, obviously, but it's like, at what cost? At what cost is what I'm trying to figure out. What did you say? No, it's not cool and it's not funny and it's very illegal. I don't know about none of that because I'm trying not to engage with none of that. And I don't get involved in other people's mess. I learned that I don't get involved in people's mess. Everybody is grown. Everybody's gonna do what they do. How's your day, Mr. Goodbar? Don't start. As long as there's nobody saying nothing to you. Exactly. So don't worry about it. Anybody that comes over here should know by now that I don't be on no mess. I don't be on no mess. I try not to encourage mess anything more than a hee hee ha ha. Now, you just cracking jokes. It's like we all grew up cracking jokes for the most part. You cracking jokes, you cracking jokes. But once it goes from like you cracking jokes to it's on some other mess, I'm a dip. So I'm great. How are you? I'm doing good. My team won today. Blessings. The team I follow won. They won today. Blessings. We got it done. You know, we got it done. We had a job to do, and that job got done. Okay. You said Blaze come out the clouds. I'm trying to work on not being, I don't know if I would call it hyper focused with people wanting to just be chilling in the clouds, but I'm trying not to really even mention it because that's their prerogative. To each their own, right? So, yes, good evening to everybody. Good evening to the cloud dwellers. I have faith that you mean me well and you're not just listening to my voice with your ears with bad intent because that would be weird. I don't even have anything going on. I'm just talking. But yes, good evening to everybody. And I hope all y'all had a good day. Dang, I got sidetracked. Dag nabbit. Yeah, we're all grown. So everybody do what they do. And in reality, it really don't have nothing to do with me. These are just things I peeped with my eyes. And I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, I don't want to see anybody that I'm YouTube cool with be engaging in no mess, no back and forth, no forth and back. I don't want to see that for you guys if you don't have to. Yeah, and I also say, well, used to say, because I'm trying not to be like that when it comes to the cloud dwellers. I used to say, let me see, is my headphones messing up? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. So yeah, I used to say to the cloud dwellers, like, look, guys, why don't you just drop down, say hi, and then go back up? But I'm not really pressed. So I'm not sure, to be honest. Um, so yeah, if you don't want to drop down because of whoever may or may not be in my chat, that's your prerogative. I don't take it personal. And what you gotta do is when you come over here, don't even bring that up. None of that negativeness. Forget about it. I like to think ain't nobody gonna be on no mess in this chat because why? We don't even do that here. Hey, cutting edge. Yeah, don't even worry about it. It's a good bar. As long as nobody say nothing to you. You said, is that right? Not that in this chat, like while they're in here, you seen somebody be on some mess while they're in here? Hi. Or have you seen some mess outside of here? You're kind of edge. You said, is that right? So I would like to think that, you know, nobody gonna be on no mess over here. Please and thank you. So I'm not on no mess. So why would we be on some mess? But I do respect where everybody comes from because I don't know everyone's history with one another and what issues they may or may not have. So I appreciate everyone that comes into the chat to say what's up. And I also appreciate the cloud dwellers. I'm working on not being annoyed by that or feeling like it's weird. I'll put it in God's hands that anybody that's listening to me with their ears, and if they're just chilling in the clouds, they mean me well. Okay. So where was I? Yes, tomfoolery. Have you guys ever heard of that before? Have you ever heard of the word tomfoolery? Let me see. You said, yep. Okay. So all that means is foolish or silly behavior, often in a playful, mischievous, mischievous, or nonsensical way. Okay. Now, a tomfool, it just describes the foolish. Let me see. Term for a jester. Oh yes. Okay. The term combines tom tomfool. What the hell? A 17th century term for a jester or a fool with the suffix "uri" to describe the foolish action itself. It can refer to lighthearted horseplay, hee hee ha ha, right? Or more frustratingly, senseless or absurd actions. That's all that means. So when I say tomfoolery, I mean just a bunch of ridiculousness, unnecessary clown behavior. And are you there to watch the show? Or are you there to become a part of the show? Which one? Or a little bit of both? Either way, that's your prerogative. But some stuff all around the board is just taken too far. And I hate to see it. I hate to see it. But I feel like I would be a hypocrite to judge. Because I used to be with the ish. So I'm not judging. because then I'll be a hypocrite if we're going to keep it a bean. I just felt like talking about it. That's all. But I definitely wasn't, when I was in them chats, I'm definitely not with things being taken too far, like way too far. I never was with that. Now the jokes, the ha ha, the little back and forths, cool. But it wasn't nowhere near the level of what's going on. Yeah, not all the personal stuff. The fudge juice. Yeah, I was. I used to be in some chats that I'm not even in anymore, but I'm still internet cool with a few people that are. So it's dope when I see them in different channels where there is no tomfoolery taking place. You know, you'll be all right. And what? About a couple months ago, about a couple months ago, I was definitely engaging in some tomfoolery, like myself, not engaging in someone else's tomfoolery, like myself, because I was perturbed about some things. I was perturbed about some things. And instead of handling it like the G I am, I was all acting all out my body. I'm talking. Mm. So it's a blessing that God put his hands all on me because I needed it because I was cutting up. Because I was cutting up for real. And you're not ever supposed to let nobody get you to the point to where you about to be cutting up. Oh, yes, I was acting up. I was upset. I'm upset. I was upset because I don't like to feel like I'm being toiled with. Like, I don't like to feel like somebody is playing with me. And I don't like people whose word is not their bond. But at the same time, I should have handled that situation like the G that I am. But I didn't, and that was terrible. And that goes back to the other live that I did about having good people that care about you. That's going to keep it being with you when they peep certain things that's unfamiliar when it comes to you. And I'm happy God touched me and I welcomed it because, hmm, let me see. Yeah, some people let it go to their head and do the most, but that's just disrespectful to whoever they're modding for to just do what they want. Now, some people don't care what their mods do. They just let them rock out. That's their prerogative at the end of the day. Right, I seen, but it's okay, Miss B. You live and you learn. That's the goal with anything, any type of situation you find yourself in or you encounter or whatever. And that goes back to the live I did about how it's important to learn how to take an L because a lot of people don't know how to take an L. So when it comes time to, because we all gonna take L's here and there, it's just inevitable. And if you have a hard time with that, you're gonna have a hard time with that. Yeah, I'm definitely good. I'm just using an example. Like I don't judge nobody. I just don't want nobody that I'm internet cool with. Really nobody, but anybody that I'm internet cool with, I don't want you to engage in the tomfoolery if you don't have to. Now, if that's your bag, that's what you do on your channel, do what you do. Like, these words are not even for you unless they're for you. So, yeah, you said wishful thinking. Yeah, no, so an even bigger reason not to engage if that's the case, right? If I feel like somebody is not well mentally, the very, first of all, the last thing I want to do in general is go back and forth with anybody. I don't care if you have all your marbles. I don't care if you're short of you. I'm not trying to go back and forth with you at all. And I promise that. And I don't even have them issues. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. I don't have them issues. So I don't come crazy towards anybody. And if they come crazy towards me, I'm blocking them. So there's no back and forth. Maybe. And that's their prerogative. As long as they keep it over yonder. That's all. That's how I look at that. And hey, if we want to keep it all the way a beam, I'm lucky. Hey Nacho, good evening. I'm lucky that the person way back when I was into the tomfoolery, because I was tight and just frustrated. But I'm lucky that that person, except for like maybe a little quick jab, but that was after they were just probably at their wits' end because I was on their head without being on their head. They knew I was on their head, but didn't nobody else know I was on their head. They just like, who is he talking about? What is he talking about? So, no, I wasn't hitting nobody's panel cussing. Now, back in the day with the mommy sector, when I felt like the girl or the woman, young woman was being virtually jumped, And before I found out what a reaction panel was, I would hit panels and be cussing them heifers out. No, I ain't gonna hold you. But as far as like this this sector and stuff, I'm not hitting no panel cussing and being. I don't even hit any panels. Number one, back in the day, but I wasn't cussing. It was back when everything was love. It wasn't even no bull crap. Now everything just shot to hell. So I don't really hit panels. It's a rare occasion that I'll hit a panel, and if I do, it's all love. But it's very rare. Dang, I lost my train of thoughts. That's what they call it, if I'm not mistaken. Dang, I wish my girl Open Book or Shelly or one of them was here. I think it's called Mommy Sector. What was I saying? That's frustrating a little bit. Oh, yes. If we're going to keep it a bean, because I was on this person, before I started working on myself, I was on this person's head because I really felt like they had me all the way fudged up, right? This is positive, and she's one of the main reasons. Because when I tell you she snatched me. I wasn't trying to hear it at first. This is positive because I don't want nobody to engage in the tomfoolery. Okay? So I'm lucky that the person whose head I was on, I don't know what you want to call it, like a well raising or whatever the case may be, they ignored that shit. And to keep it a bean, I'm lucky that they did because that could have probably been terrible. Now, they did have me effed up, but at the same time, nah, you don't let nobody get you out your body. Like, for real, for real. And then, just when for you to sit back and peep and realize it wasn't that deep. It was not that deep. But I say that to say this, not everybody is going to show a, a little bit of grace to you as far as how you coming. Like, people are ruthless. They don't care. And then what? You don't want to be engaging in no mess, you know, just to become the mess. I hope whoever's listening to me with their ears is getting where I'm trying to come from. Hopefully, I'm not all over the place with mine. Some things just aren't worth it, especially once you start taking it too far. I'll tell you what, we don't have the right to dictate to somebody how they respond to disrespect or what they deem to be disrespect. People take it too far, but to them, they're not taking it too far. To them, they're right on the money. They don't see a problem with it. You know? Sometimes you gotta let go of a lot to stay in the light and the right path. Yeah. You really do. And I understand how it's not easy, especially if you or somebody that is accustomed to being in certain chats and it's kind of like become routine and you're really cool, well, internet cool with everybody and certain people and stuff like that. So I dig it. That's why I said I'm happy that even though I don't be in certain chats anymore, I still see certain people in other chats that don't partake in the tomfoolery. You know, that's always nice. Or they come over here and holler at me. Or if they have a page, I'll go holler at them. Whatever happens. So I definitely don't judge because I'm still being worked on myself. But I try not to be on no bull crap because it's not necessary and it's not healthy. You know, it really isn't. And not everybody is going to show you grace. And you may not think you need or want grace to be shown to you until you come across that one person that takes it way too far. And you're like, you did not need to do all of that. But they're like, shit and me. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking tomorrow morning, God willing, I'm gonna do a live on energy vampires and how we don't want to allow ourselves to become drained by an energy vampire because they don't get full. So then it's gonna be a continual draining, like until there's nothing left. Okay? And how we don't want to allow ourselves to become energy vampires. So I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do a live on tomorrow morning. Yeah. But yeah, I'm about to get off of here. Hopefully, anybody that heard me speak with their ears, oh Lord, understands or can get what I was saying. Hopefully, I wasn't all over the place. But if I was, hopefully, you're able to piece it together to get what I'm trying to say. These sometimes, in order to move forward, hold on. Sometimes in order to move forward, you need to take a few steps back. I agree, because that's how you really get hindsight and clarity. And forget that, like, clarity is a hell of a thing. And sometimes it hits you in a good way, sometimes not so much. But when it hits you, it hits you. And once you are able to have the ability to take a step back and just really peep stuff for what it is and what it isn't, whoopsie do, that's a wonderful thing. That's all. That is all, but I'm getting out of here and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Have a good night. Bye.